Beautiful people, more life, more blessings. You know the vibes, we outside, right back at you. Do it for the love, episode 15, mellow year. We out here. You know me, Eric Buddy Davis. I'm in the building with my co-host.
South Spitfire.
And as usual, you know we're feeling good, feeling great, feeling good, and we hope you are too. For all of our listeners, you know how we like to start things off. I like to see how my man's week has been. You like to see how my week has been. So my brother, what's your temperature?
Temperature is steaming hot right now in a good way, man. Our guest today is going to share some information about some of the good things we got coming up. It's a testament to believing in your dream and really, taking a risk and then seeing the outcome from that. So I'm excited to share the good news and the good work we're doing in the community. What's your temperature?
Man, listen, probably just as hot as yours, Mr. Spitfire. I feel like it's a lot of good stuff that's coming up straight out of the month of love. Everything's been moving well for us. I want to thank all of our listeners, all of our viewers. We've seen an increase in our numbers and in our viewership, and we just want to promote connecting with us, man. Continue to hit those comment sections. Show us the love. We're here for you. We are of the people. So temperature's good, baby. I'm feeling great.
What's tonight's topic that we kicking in?
Tonight's topic is for the love of chasing the dream. As you know, I like to give y'all basic definitions of the word. So tonight it's about dream and it's about chase. Dream, a series of thoughts, images, and sensations occurring in a person's mind during a sleep or a cherished aspiration, ambition, or ideal. Chase, pursue in order to catch up with, or drive or to cause in a specific direction. So when I think of chasing your dream, I think of imagery. I think of goals that may be unobtainable to anybody outside of yourself. Things that a mother's going to say, you could do it, baby. Or somebody that really loves you like a girlfriend is going to push you and direct you and be behind you. Right. When I think of chasing dreams, I think of actually putting together plans to obtain those goals. Mm-hmm. I think of all of the process and the work. I think of dedicated individuals. I think of inspired individuals. So let's talk the love of chasing the dream. How do you view it?
For the love of chasing the dream, for me, it's about being a creative visionary and being a pioneer, but also having blinders on, having that tunnel vision and just, letting those distractions come in and just not worrying about them. When you're on a pursuit of your passion or your career, you're going to have a lot of naysayers. You're going to have people that question what you do. But when you're chasing a dream, you got to kind of drown all of that out. You got to be focused on the mission ahead. You got to link up with partners and just really plan. You know what I'm saying? So chasing your dream is not just one thing. It's steps to get to that goal that you aspire to get to.
Absolutely. I like to look at it also, the side of chasing the dream that most people might not speak of because it's the reason why people don't chase their dreams, and it's fear. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of the times people don't chase their dreams because it's too big. Like the image that you woke up with, it seems impossible. So for a lot of people, when they say, you're a dream killer, it's a lot of the times we kill our own dreams by not applying the special gifts. I think Jay-Z might have said it, every human being has some type of level of genius level thinking or genius level talent. And that's really just the beginning. Yeah. Somebody can tell you your whole life, man, that boy gonna be great. Yeah. Man, that boy can draw. What happens at 14, 15, 16, you stop drawing? Yeah. Or you don't keep on illustrating things. You would never really know that dream, and that could just be seen as wasted talent. Yeah. So when I think about people that chase their dream and people that inspire me, it's a lot of go-getters. Yeah. It's a lot of people that may not have had the backing or the capital, but they were so determined and so desired that they made it happen. So that's really how I see, and we obviously have a guest on today that is, I think, a dream chaser personified. He's not sounding Meek Mill, but I think it's the perfect, setting to just talk more about what it takes to get to those higher levels.
And just think about the root of the words, chase. It's like when you chasing somebody, it's not going to be easy. They hitting moves, you got to really follow that. It's the same thing about your career and your passion. It's not going to be easy. So when you're thinking that your dream is getting away from you, you can't give up. You got to keep your eyes locked on it and keep chasing it. And dreams come to you in your sleep. I think that God sends us a lot of visions to prepare us for the future or give us an insight to what's coming up. But you got to believe in that, because a lot of things come to us in our dreams that people don't even follow behind. And you can end up falling short.
Absolutely. So before we move on to the next segment, we just want to tell you, never stop. I don't care what age you are at. Maybe you need to redirect it. Maybe you need to go hit the drawing board and start again. But never give up on yourself, because when you stop chasing your dream, you stop living, in my opinion. And when you stop living, only thing on the other side of that is death. So keep on striving, my beautiful people. We believe in you. Keep on believing in us. And we're going to keep on dropping these lovely gems for you.
Sure.
So moving on to our next segment. This is when we like to shine a light, but not to shine the light serious. We talk about our sponsor highlight, and I believe my co-host got a great one for us this evening.
Our sponsor highlight for tonight is Live Casino. Live Casino Maryland is one of the staple casinos here in Maryland in the DMV, one of the first ones to open up. And since they've opened up, I mean, they've truly not only been an exciting place for people to enjoy themselves, but they've been a strong stakeholder in providing the community for different resources. The different companies from my own and the company that I work for, we've partnered with the casino before. I mean, it's a family operated business. They have a very diverse staff. I mean, to me, in my opinion, it's the best casino out of the three in Maryland, and it's just been a pleasure to work with them. So shout out to Maryland Live Casino, located in Hanover. Open all night. It's one of the places you can go to any time of the day. It's gonna be live. They got beautiful women there working. I mean, very personable people. It's just a dope spot to go to. So shout out to Maryland Live Casino, their staff, and everybody doing their thing over there.
Yeah, out of all of the three casinos, that's the only one I've ever wanted blackjack at. So, special shout out to the crab dealers. I don't know who was on the tables that night. But yeah, I love Maryland Live, because to me, out of all three casinos in our area, as you said, and me just watching you and other people, they do believe in community and helping out people. And it's almost like years ago, the big talk about casinos was almost how dispensaries are the big talk now. And a lot of people talk about what they don't do. And we need to continuously show love to the ones that do. We shine too much, we spend too much time paying attention to the people that don't help us and not shining light on those who do. So special shout out to Live Casino for all that you do. My mother loves you as well, and not for sponsor reasons. She just likes the game.
Shout out to my LAA graduate classmate Candace. She graduated. She was actually the person that connected me with Maryland Live Casino, to where when I painted the mural, I was the first person to do that in the casino. But again, that's just a testament to them being all about the community, being open to new things. So shout out to Candace for that hookup, and it's been dope working with them.
Right. And I appreciate the creative space, because prior to them building the new section that now has like people like Dave Chappelle and Kevin Hart, I'm a Maryland boy, all day, every day. So I feel like the more things that bring light to my city, bring light to my town, bring light to my state, I'm a fan of. And that's something that Maryland Live has done since it was created. So once again, shout out to Live Casino. Moving forward into our next segment. This is our poke fun at things that we don't choose. This is our love to not love section. These are reasons or things that may not be things that we favor, but we also don't hate it, because we don't say that word on our show. But these are things that sometimes are serious, sometimes a little bit more loose. So, Mr. Lover to the right, I'm gonna let him kick it off.
Kicking off tonight's love or not love, I love to not love people who reuse, steal, or alter original designs without giving the people credit. As a designer, I've seen it so many times. It's a real thin line between being, inspired by something and then just stealing. And I've been in a situation more so than less when people are taking designs or taking something that you've created originally, and they may bite a small piece off or be inspired and give you no credit at all. And then when you approach them or press them on it, they acting like they don't know what the fuck is going on. But
Gotcha. If
you a true crafter, you really do your research before even starting this shit, you will understand and see who've already, did it. It's not too many new things under the sun.
Right.
So when you do something that's similar to somebody else, you gotta give credit. You know what I mean? I'm getting tired of getting my own shit stole. So
Hey, we just was talking about that recently,
Yeah.
a little something that we seen on the gram. But it's crazy, mine was similar, so I'll be 1B of that. Yes, biters, stop fucking biting. Just stop. Be more creative, or at least reach out and try to collab. Talk to a person. Do something that let this person know that I was inspired by you. Because one thing you can do in those moments is shine light on the originators. Like, for instance, Us Weekly, all of these publications, y'all love giving white people credit for braids. Y'all love they almost try to give Travis Kelce credit for the fade. Shout out to Travis Kelce, who took advantage of that moment to be like, I didn't create this, I just rock it. Rock it well, brother, it's clean.
he said the right thing too. He was like, y'all gonna try to pull this on Black
History Month. It's like people trying to set people up for failure. So for all of you biters, not writers, please do better, because we see you. Everybody sees it. And it sucks when you get credited as the creator and the founder. And if you have more capital, you normally get away with it. So, just stop it. It's like the gatekeeping things that we said prior before. You can have way more impact being realer, so kill it.
My
Number two.
last love to not love is people who try to force their services on you and then get mad when you don't want them. Or you don't want the service.
Like
You ever
squeegee
had somebody
boys?
just randomly text you. It start off as a "how you been" conversation, and then they, "oh, I'm selling this now, like try to holler at me," and you might not respond or give them a direct answer, and they just keep hitting you up. "So you go buy that?"
Right.
Like, and I ain't even reach out to you first.
Right.
Like, y'all people who selling shit gotta understand how to and learn how to sell things the correct way. That aggressive tactic sometimes is just annoying. You're gonna end up losing long-term clients.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Last but not least, when I order stuff online and it don't fit, I hate that shit. That's why I honestly don't really like online shopping. I'm the type of person that when I do want to shop, I like to go in the store, show up to the mall with some shorts and an easy t-shirt on because I know I'm about to try shit on. And when I leave out the store, I know it works for me. I just bought some 50-year edition, or is it the 30th year of Bape Stan Smith's collaboration with Adidas, and that size 10 Stan Smith is way too big, bro. And it's like, I don't want to wait and have to box it back up and send it back, and I'm not really like a reseller.
Right.
So it's like, it kills the momentum for me, and they fire. So it's like, yeah, it's really, I'm only talking about myself. I guess I love to not love my decisions because nobody makes me buy online. But I'm just not a fan when it doesn't work out. So Adidas retail, you'll be seeing me soon.
Traditional buddy, man. He don't carry credit cards. Everything old school he try to do, man.
Yeah, shout out to the person that found my wallet in Brooklyn. The money was gone, but I got 2 IDs now. So shout out to you. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. So with that moving forward, I think it is time to bring on. Actually, no, we're not ready yet. We have our Shine the Spotlight series. Oh man, how can we forget? And these are very, very two special individuals. And I'll speak on my perspective of them, and then I'll let you do it as well. Gilly and Wallow, $1 million worth of game. I'm gonna be quite honest, I knew nothing of Wallow until the last recent years of, the videos, running in the rain, being motivational, and then I obviously found out more about the story of him doing that long jail sentence. And then when I go to Gilly, I'm not gonna lie, Gilly, for a long time, he was like an op to me because I love Lil Wayne. And after you said you wrote for Wayne on Carter One and all that, I really was never checking for Gilly or Major Figures. But to me, both of them gentlemen turned things from tragedy to triumph. He took a jail sentence and turned it into dollars. He turned it into an entire career. So I just want to shout out to everything that they've done on that platform. Everything Gilly's been dealing with in the last year with losing his son. I have no idea how I would respond to something like that. As I've said several times, raising a child on the autism spectrum, danger's a part of my life. But I still don't really know how I would come to grips with losing him. So for you to still show up, really never take no time off, I commend everything you're doing because we're trying to come up in this podcast space. I feel like y'all are already at the pinnacle of it and still growing. But I just wanted to show you brothers much love and respect. And I just thank y'all for the motivation and the continued gems because y'all I don't look at Philly as no different from Baltimore. We from Annapolis. It ain't like a huge inner city like that, but it ain't much different. So I look at that as inspiration. I just want to thank y'all.
I mean, my comment on Gilly and Wallow is I love people who can battle through adversity. And you talked about Wallow, leaving a 20-year bid and then Gilly losing his son amongst some of the deal mishaps that he went through, being in that whole battle with Lil Wayne. It's a lot of things that could have tore them brothers down. But they used, one, their familyhood between each other to encourage each other to keep going, to see them be so comfortable with each other, even when it comes to joking on each other. They just have a real methodical way of working. I love the way that Wallow, gives the youth that he bring on the show room and space to actually speak their story, but he also holds them accountable at the same time.
Facts.
And Gilly and Wallow just happen to be partnering with us that you'll hear about as our guest comes on. But $1 million worth of game is definitely a podcast and a creation to look out for and continue to follow. I know they've branched off and have other shows as well.
Thanks.
But Barstool Sports has supported them as well. So that goes back to us talking about having partners that believe in you and invest in you. You know what I mean? So I admire what they're doing. Shout out to $1 million worth of game and Gilly and Wallow.
Special shout out to them. So now I think it's time to bring on our very special guest, who I also would say probably got $1 million worth of game.
Sure.
Do It For The Love, episode 15, for the love of chasing the dream. Back at you.
And we're back with our special guest. Be ready to be inspired by a true visionary, a dream chaser, Joining us today is the remarkable owner and CEO of the groundbreaking sports apparel brand Tunnel Vision,
Awesome.
with a bachelor's degree in sports management from Towson University and an unwavering dedication to his dream. Our guest is here to share his journey of turning aspirations into reality and empowering athletes to chase their dreams both on and off the field. Let's dive into the world of tunnel vision and the pursuit of greatness with not only a friend, a business partner, and a true leader, Mr. Kyle Williams. Welcome to the show, champ.
What an intro, what an intro, what an intro.
Appreciate
the intro,
man.
Appreciate
Welcome on, bro.
It's well deserved. You put a lot of work in for the community, and I'm blessed to be able to work with you. And it's only right to bring you on the show and share the vision and let the world know how you concepted tunnel vision, how you plan to continue to lead the future, how you empowering others, whether it be the youth or your business partners. We're going to get to hear all of that today. So kicking it off, buddy, go ahead and jump into it. What's the first question that we got, Mr. Kyle, today?
We like to set the tone and keep it very simple for the people, for those who don't know you, so we'll get right into it. Who is Kyle Williams?
So Kyle Williams is a visionary, he's a leader, he's a trailblazer, he's a billionaire, right? And I say that because
I like that.
you have to have an inner desire and believe everything and walk in your light every day to get to where you're going. You know, I believe in manifesting every day, right? And with Tunnel Vision, we're a full-fledged sport apparel company. What we do is we specialize in retail sportswear as well as custom team uniforms. With this guy here leading us, we're going all over the world doing murals. We got some couple big ones coming up this year. And then on the nonprofit side, we got the Chase Your Dreams initiative, where we're using sports and education as the means to provide social and economic impact for underserved youth in different communities, man. So worldwide impact on everything that we're doing, but just really getting out there, dream chasing, being ambitious.
Thank you. I just realized how very white your tone is. People say my voice carries the next one. Yeah. But no, we appreciate that. Thank you.
We spoke earlier about chasing dreams and how thoughts can come in and conceptualize dreams. I know the answer to this, but I think it's an awesome story. Can you share the story behind the inception of Tunnel Vision and what inspired you to start your own sport and apparel brand?
Yeah, man. So first and foremost, I went to college. I went to Towson University. I went with the intent of being a sports agent. I majored in sports management. When I came out my first year, I actually worked for the largest sports agency in the world, which is Octagon. So I worked for the NBA team there, working with Steph Curry, Rudy Gay, those other guys, man. So how Tunnel Vision really fell in my lap, it was really God, it was really divine intervention. And the reason why our slogan is Chase Your Dreams is because this literally came to me in my dream, in my sleep. I remember it was like going into my senior year in college, and I was broke, was down bad and so forth, like any other college person, right? And one night, it's like steaming hot. I'm laying on my mother's couch in the house, and I had this crazy dream, and in that dream, I own a business called Tunnel Vision. Like I felt it, like it was real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was like so surreal. And I woke up the next day from my dream, and it was still on my mind. You know how sometimes you have dreams and it's just like you forget about it? Nah, I remembered everything from it. It just stuck, right? And I didn't remember exactly what business it was that I owned in my dream, but it's funny because before I went to Towson, I went to Virginia State University. Shout out to VSU, my family out there. And I used to rock with, it was some New York dudes and some it was a guy from Jersey.
Okay.
And he used to draw a little bit. He wasn't an artist or anything like that. But I don't know what made me call him, but I was like, yo, his name is Corey. I was like, Corey, yo, I had this crazy dream. His name was Courtney. I'm sorry, Courtney. I had this crazy dream of this business called Tunnel Vision. For some reason, I just want to pursue it. It's like something telling me to move forward with it, man. So I called him. I was like, yo, can you draw me a logo? He's like, yeah, what you want? I was like, I don't know. It was just something built around Tunnel Vision. And lie to you not, he sent me back a screenshot of our logo today, which y'all see on paper. And like, what people don't really realize is if you look into our logo, it got the Maryland flag built into it. That wasn't on purpose.
Yeah.
It wasn't intentional at all. And I didn't even kind of realize it until somebody else said something to me later on. So to kind of have that type of experience and it fall the way it did, we never asked for any type of edits on the logo or anything. And I just took that, man, and I woke up. And like my man, he was like, yo, you should start putting that logo on shirts. And I was like, what you mean? He's like, yo, that logo hard, yo. I think people will buy it. I was like, all right, bet. So we started screen printing them up, the t-shirts, the hoodies. And I started posting online like, yeah, yo, you about your business, you trying to chase your dreams, get down with the movement. At first it started off as like a group of visionaries, like a movement, like, hey, you got that tunnel vision, you locked in. And then we just started selling them, and everybody was like, oh, I want one. Driving around, had the Gucci. It's a polo bag, but it looked Gucci. So everybody thought I had the Gucci bag, right? And I was coming around with the hoodies and the shirts, hopping out on people, selling them. I'm riding around everywhere in the forerunner, and we getting to it, man. So it was just like, that's how it started, no lie. Some people may say, you fabricating that, but no, that's real. Like, that's a mission that God had gave me, and I've been running with that since.
It's crazy because I remember the first message you sent out on Facebook Messenger.
Right.
I remember the first message. Like, cause I think, I graduated from Towson 2010. Was you 2010 too?
I was 2010. I was early 2011.
Okay. All right, bet. Cause I remember seeing you in the gym playing basketball and stuff. And we already knew each other. We always knew each other in passing, but never had like a relationship with Old Mill St. Mary's.
Right.
So I just remember you sending out that message, bro, and seeing where y'all at today. That shit is amazing because it's literally chasing the dream. You chase that shit, you still chasing it. So
one of the first commercials we shot, I shot it at Towson University.
Man, I think I remember that joint. That's crazy. Well, how many years ago was that?
Man, we started out, I had the dream in 2010, but I started acting on it immediately in like 2011 is when we first started like rocking off with everything.
14 years in there.
Right. So actually that is a great segue to my next question. What has the transitions in tunnel vision been like? From day one to now, like I got written, we graduated from Towson, and I remember that message. So what was the transition like? I know you guys have been in different spaces.
Yeah.
What has it been like from day one to now? The transitions.
So like first of all, we started off as like a group of people that just wanted to chase their dreams and be positive and go out and be go-getters, right? We started off like a group form,
right?
But a bunch of people there is like, yeah, I'm down, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get to it too, whatever. And it was about motivating other people that had that tunnel vision. And then it transitioned into the t-shirts, hoodies, and sportswear, right? And then I don't know if you guys remember, but a huge person that helped us really get tunnel vision off the ground in the sports industry was Akil Carr. Y'all remember Akil?
Crime Stopper.
Shout out to Akil.
Baltimore's own.
Akil Carr was probably the biggest thing on YouTube. Ball is Life. He really started Ball is Life off on the right way, right on the right path. And at the time, it's funny because Eric Alston from Yardway, Annapolis,
Shout out to Alston.
Yeah, he had an opportunity where it was like, yo, we're gonna take the top high school ballers from around the area, and we're gonna take them over to Italy to play in a national championship. He's like, yo, you want to do the uniforms? I was like, hell yeah, you know what I mean? And I didn't know how to get them done or anything at the time. We was just doing t-shirts. It's funny because from that point, we went over to Italy, did that, got a lot of press off there. We did a YouTube documentary on that, which went crazy, right? And then we moved right in. I had a coach approach me. He was like, yo, I got a high school, Glen Country Day. He was like, we need some uniforms. Like, you down? Again, I didn't know what the hell we was doing, but just us being us and go-getters and how we is, we shoot now, aim later. Right. I don't mean that in a negative way.
No, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to get out there and get in front of it and figure out where you're going later. And that's the path that we took, the risk taking in that. So we went from there, started getting all these high school contracts and different things like that. Building a business while you working was the toughest thing ever.
Facts.
And a lot of people don't understand. You can't. It's a process with that.
And what you mean by that? While you working like a 9 to 5, that's not television. Gotcha.
Because I told you I was working at the sports agency at first. They used to get mad at me because I would come in there, but I would be doing tunnel vision shit. So I'm like researching shit on how
getting paid by their work and shit.
But they couldn't get mad because at the time I was still had the connections and different things. We was putting them on with players that they had no connection with, so they couldn't get mad.
It was benefiting from what you were doing.
Right. You know what I mean? So it went from that, and the next thing you know, I had a government job. I was working for the State Department. I was doing armed security for the state secretary at the time, right? So
I didn't know that.
I had a government clearance and everything, right? So I'm on a job. You can't even have your phones at the job. I'm sneaking my job in my folder. Customers trying to call me while I'm on post. I got my gun on me and everything, you know what I mean? So I'm sneaking, doing work and different things like that. And one time the dude came out, was like, yo, you be bluffing, like you need to get on your game. And I'm like, yo, I'm not worried about this because I know where I'm going. Mm-hmm. I'm doing my business. And I told him, I was like, in a couple years, y'all still gonna be here, not in a negative way, but I'm gonna be here doing this. And lo and behold, it graduated into that. We started getting so many orders that at the time, it's funny how God worked because you know, and I'm not scared to say this, but, you know, some of us have been held back by student loans at a certain point in our life.
It's a fact.
And at one time, this is how God moved, bro. So at one time, it came back, was like, yo, your clearance, your top secret clearance is not going to go through because you still owe money on your student loan. You got to take care of that, right? And there was no way I could get that done to be able to keep my job. And as I look back on it, it was God pushing me into, because what I do, I left that time, right? I called Shell up. I was like, yo, listen, I'm leaving my job, cold turkey. I'm going to go get this brick and mortar in Annapolis. We're going to run with tunnel vision full blast. I took 10 bangs. That's all I ever had and started the business with. It was $10,000. Took that. We got the location up on Chicopee in Annapolis. And boom, we went and rocked with it. Next thing you know, we started dealing with all the local, you know, youth teams and stuff like that, high schools and things like that. We went from there. Then we moved into the space out of PG County, Philadelphia way. We was rocking for there. COVID hit, kind of threw us off track. We bounced back from that. And now, yeah, man, we just here thriving. We dealing with professional athletes. We just did some stuff recently with the NFL. We got some big celebrity games coming up, some big collaborations. So everything just moved in its own divine way, man. Every time, it's funny because every time I got discouraged and there's times I wanted to quit, I asked God, I got on my knees and I was like, look, if this is not what I'm supposed to be doing, let me know. And every time I did that, and it was during a bad time, something came through, like something major.
Some type of sign.
Some type of sign of major, and that's what kept me going, man, just my relationship with God through that. So, that's how we kind of
not trying to speak too much, because I know we kind of went from how it concepted up to now. But going back a little bit to when you first started and you had this almost overnight success with the brand, how did you start the plan to make Tunnel Vision different than any other sport and apparel brand? Like, what was the thought process to make? You start out just doing screen printing shirts, which is you know normal for people starting out doing clothes. What was that turning point for you to be like, nah, we're gonna be the top at the top when it comes to sport and apparel?
I think when we came out and dropped, we were so hot because our design and the way we stood differently, because with Tunnel Vision, it wasn't just your traditional sportswear, right? We mixed it with the urban hip hop culture.
Right.
Our designs looked different. It was sporty, but it was still urban. It was still street.
Fly.
And it was fly, right? It was almost a fashion statement to have Tunnel Vision apparel uniforms. And that's where we really came out, like when we heard, like, damn, y'all, these designs is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need that, boom, boom. And we took that and flipped it in a way, because when we look at the sports and you're looking at Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, who had just recently came on at the time, not recently, but they're just more so basic in the things that they do. And I'm not scared to say it, but they're using our culture to try to promote their brand. We are the culture. We understand what our people want and we need, and we just took sports with hip hop and mixed that together. And that's kind of how we really set ourselves apart in that life.
Gotcha. Was that a piggyback off my question, or that was your question?
No, that was a piggyback.
All right, you up.
So my next question would be, as the CEO of Tunnel Vision, what are some of the biggest challenges you face in building and scaling the brand? From what was some of the biggest challenges that you saw from screen printing up until now?
I mean, like, the biggest challenges being young, being an entrepreneur and so forth is we coming out on our own. We standing on our own 2 feet, going in muddy and deep waters that are untraveled, right? And, you know, growing up, when you black, we don't have rich uncles or rich dads or, you know, people in our family who we can go to and ask for financial help.
And even when we do, I feel like as black people, when we go to relatives for money, they look at us
Like,
times it's
crazy.
hard,
Like strangers.
Yeah.
like different than what I've seen white people do for their kids. They already have money set aside. And even if you ain't got no plan, they like, here's the money. If you fuck it up, that's on you. But like you said, we starting out with no resources, no lending hand. So continue.
No resources, man. We started out with literally nothing, right? And I think the other challenge is, you know, you coming out, like, of course I went to college, but they don't teach you how to run a business. You know what I'm saying? And people don't understand. A lot of people run around here saying, well, I got this brand or this is my line or different things like that. But just because you got a product don't mean you're a CEO. It don't mean you're a business owner. It don't mean you know how to handle business. And we had to learn that on our own. We had to make mistakes, things that were outside of our control. One of our biggest things ever, you know, in the space of what we do things is, you know, a lot of these brands, when it comes to Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, they don't control their production line. You know what I'm saying? We all got suppliers and different things. And I think that, you know, a lot of the mistakes that we made early, 90% of them weren't our fault.
Gotcha.
So going through a process where we had to you know, maybe take some slight from people in the industry or different things like that for mistakes. It's like when you black, you got to be perfect in business, right? Our people ain't as forgiving as us when we do certain things.
Less room for error.
Right, less room for error. We got to be perfect. And I'm not afraid to say that we had to fail our way to success. You can't be successful in anything without making mistakes. Y'all think when Chick-fil-A started, they wasn't making mistakes, or McDonald's and different things. Everybody made those mistakes.
Growing pains.
But when you black and you young, it's so much pressure on you because everybody wants you to be perfect out the gate, right? And I learned so much from our obstacles and the different things that we do. And still to this day, man, we just keep pushing. I look at obstacles as opportunities. And I had to learn how to train my mind that when negative things happen, to not put my mind in the negative space, to not let that type of shit ruin my day from moving forward. And it's all like a mind game, man, but those are the obstacles I think was the financial challenge and just being on your own and growing from a young entrepreneur to where we are now, where everything is easy. So now it's just like, I feel like a giant in the space because everything that, the mistakes that we had earlier, I learned, I know how to deal with shit now, you know what I'm saying? So when things happen, the normal person might get scared or worried, I go to sleep on that. I eat problems for dinner. You know what I'm saying? I wake up and destroy it.
Talk that shit.
You know
Talk that shit.
You gotta be legendary. That's how I move and what we do. You know
I
what I'm
love
saying? So that's how we move from moving forward.
Tunnel vision, tunnel thinking. I think your determination and your focus is what's above all. Like you can hear your passion. I said it to Sell Off Camera the other day. Your passion for your brand will make anybody buy in. And if they don't buy in, they at least have eyes on it moving forward because you're so thorough when you speak about it. And I think that that by itself just shows your character and your brand. I think you can believe in something when you see the leader feeling that way about it and willing to be 10 toes down. Everywhere I see your brand, I see you. So just gotta give you love.
And the last thing that I would add to what you said is not only just what did you say was the selling point for it? The story behind
Just now?
Yeah, like I was gonna say the story. Like if you got a good story behind a brand, that
Oh,
can
yes,
also
yes,
sell.
yes,
You
yes,
got some
yes.
people that's just outgoing and they can just sell.
Right.
Some people don't want to speak. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And I feel like if you one of them people, as long as you got a good story and theme behind the brand, you can come out swinging that way too.
And I think almost how like you just made me hyper because I felt like you got into a vibe. I think people look at you as a silent person. Not silent, but you choose your words wisely. You don't just talk to just talk. The most I ever see you talk is typing on Facebook because you're an avid sports fan.
Right.
That's the most you just freelance that I see. But I feel like when it's time to talk tunnel vision, can't nobody talk shit like you about to talk shit.
I'm a laid back person, but I'm not quiet. But people who don't really know me like
I got you.
don't know that. Like,
Absolutely.
But I'm not like that. But one thing I do want to say and leave y'all with is the biggest challenge I ever had in business was that 2020 COVID.
Oh wow, yeah.
That was a monster.
You can talk on that.
Yeah, let's talk on that because during that time, as you know, like sports had completely stopped. Right. That was the forefront of our income, our revenue, our business. And at the time, man, we had just had our space out in PG County. We was moving up. Like our numbers was going up and everything, and that hit, man. And when that hit, we had about 50 something or more customers at the time. But we still had to get them their stuff, right? But our manufacturing was shut down.
Damn.
And then as time go by, they shut down because they couldn't recoup. So I'm in the midst of that. We got people calling every day, hey, where my stuff? Like that was a real frustrating time, man. And we had to communicate through that. That's why I feel like I'm such a great communicator now, because I wasn't always the best communicator and so forth, but I grew through that, man. And I feel like if you can make it through that, and the businesses that did, that prepared you for anything. Everything else is just like a fly on you now.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And I learned so much through that process, what to do with my business for moving forward. And at the time, we really needed some new suppliers at the time. But if you know anything about business and manufacturing, while you running that type of business, it's hard to make a change that crucial to your business like that while you're in the midst of running business.
Facts.
I tell people all the time I love COVID so much because it gave me time to sit back and think, you know what I mean, and work on my business instead of in my business, right? And that people don't understand is that when you're a CEO, you got to learn how to separate yourself and delegate so you can work on your business instead of in your business, because that's going to keep you busy. You know?
Facts. That's probably one of the only few times you'll hear somebody say, I love COVID so much. But I know exactly what he meant by it, because I also love the time, because to me it was a time to just reset. It was a time the air was fresher, no cars on the road. It was just really a time when you had to sit with yourself And a lot of the things that we always talk about is you can't change anything until you change yourself. And self-work is the most essential work to the world because you can change the world when you start to change yourself. So my next question to you would be, pivot a little bit. When did you realize community work and nonprofit work was what you wanted to pour time into? Because I would like for you to speak a little bit on the Chase Your Dream initiative.
Yeah, so we started that like around May, like during COVID,
Okay.
2020, right? We figured that we could use our platform to make an impact a lot. At that time, a lot of families was hurting, didn't know how they was going to pay their bills, feed their family and everything, man. And everybody was looking for something to do, right? So we went out, and shout out to Fat Man and the Mead Village community.
Shout out to the
because
team.
we went out there and, you know, we had this basketball court out there. It was like, yo, you should start a league, right? And at the time, we didn't even have no permits to do that or anything like that. We just went straight cowboy with it. We just ran with it, right? It was like, yo, you sure you want to put television Chase Your Dreams on? We could get in trouble. And I was like, man, forget it. We're going to take the risk. You know what I mean? Because I seen the opportunity in it, and we started that league through COVID, right? But, you know, at the time, they was like, yo, we're going to get the registration fees and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, nah, what we're going to do is let the teams register. We're going to get that money back to the community, right? We're going to help people. We're going to show that this league is a sense of hope. It's a center for the people and striving through the community, man. We ran with that league, and the league started everything, yo. Everything came with this basketball league, right? Black businesses was thriving through it in the neighborhood. We got connected to the county executive. People were seeing what we was doing. We was having backpack giveaways. We gave out 300 bikes that year. We was giving away turkeys. And it just started a whole big thing, man. And we met so many of the kids out there in the neighborhood that I drew a heart for them. And I promised them that at the time, we was never going to leave. We was going to continue to do the work. A lot of people take advantage and get what they get and leave. But nah, we started that, and we just built a reputation for being community leaders, man. And I was just talking about this the other day. It's like, it's a heavy crown to wear, but it's one that I'm most proud of. And I get a better sense of fulfillment of doing stuff like that than I do making money from television. You know what I mean? It's just because I know how many lives of what we do through that impacts. You know?
Absolutely. And that's what I was going to say before Sada asked his next question, that I'm sure you're conscious of how many dreams you probably started a young person to start chasing from doing that.
Right.
Like, nobody goes to those neighborhoods. For one, I was amazingly impressed when you started the league at all, because growing up as an Anthropolitan, the Y is everything. That's our record.
Right.
That was our summertime goal. And I think, you know, the tearing down of the old Y going into Pip Moya, I feel like that transition always made the games a little different. It's just a little different. And yours now, and I feel like, is the new wave. Just the whole energy. Like, I just did a wedding with Big Al. And Al Boogie, I'm sorry, not Big Al. And that started from you. My relationship with him started at doing the Turkey Bowl.
Right.
And all the other things that we can talk about that you and television are behind. But I just wanted to say, man, that's another thing that you started that, to me, I value just as high as television. That basketball league, to me, is an amazing thing because you just give another platform for creators.
Absolutely. And the thing that I'm most proud of is, like I said, how many other Black businesses or people have thrived through that. I'm not going to take credit up for it, but I know that what we built there is responsible for what a lot of people are doing, and I'm happy about that. Like, I'm so happy for them that they're doing the things that they do, and it makes me feel great that something like that started a lot of that for us.
It's like wildfire.
Yeah,
For sure.
So you told us about how Chase Your Dreams initiative was concepted, and at the time the purpose was to literally entertain people while and provide a resource during COVID at a time where we all trapped in, right?
Yeah.
So at what point and why do you start to input or put in an educational component into the Chase Your Dreams initiative?
Well, we talk about when we spending the time in certain neighborhoods or with different communities, you start to see how a lack of knowledge, education, and the wealth gap is really widespread in our communities. It's crazy, right? And a lot of it is because the youth, they don't know. It's just things that they don't know about, whether that's be careers that they can get into, non-traditional ways to get active and doing different things. I mean, you know, when we be taking them out of the community, we take them to DC or New York, they never seen high-rise buildings before.
Right.
You know, different things like that. And
Small things.
Right. How can you go out and be the best version of yourself if your mind is so trapped in this one space, right?
Facts.
So to be able to use that and to show people, like, you know, we've been going around teaching kids how to manufacture and start their own brands, do different things, man, and we just been able to do so many great things for that. That's always just been the angle. And I got kind of off track from your question, but does that kind of answer what you were saying?
No, that's perfect.
Yeah, it's
You're
just
talking about how did, I mean, because again, it started out as us just creating active events and workshops and stuff, and then now it is turned into an educational component. You can come into the Chase Your Dreams initiative workshop and learn about art therapy. You can come in and learn about manufacturing or how to start a brand up. Like, it's just has speared off into so many good things for the positive, and I think you clearly answered like what was the motivation behind it.
I felt like it was my duty and my God put that on me to say, yo, take what I gave you and what I taught you and teach that to the rest of your peers.
Facts.
If you could highlight somebody when you was coming up, that was one of the same beacon of light that you are to the community and people now, who was that for you growing up?
For me growing up, man, I don't remember. Back when I was in, when I went to Old Mill, they had a program called Good Brothers,
Okay.
right? And it was like taking all of the African American students at Old Mill and taking us on different trips to colleges, different things like that. They would bring entrepreneurs and they would teach us about business. And there was this one guy, man, he owned a sports marketing company. And that did it for me. You know, that told me like, yo, I want to be in business, but I was always business minded anyway. Like I used to be in school, I would burn CDs and be selling them, you know, in the high school, hustling.
Shout out to the LimeWire and all of the download era.
But it was just like, it was a lot of different people, but on the more so, on a lock in and like drive dedication side, like Kobe was always my motivator for a lot of my thinking and ways about how to go about your craft. So.
Shout out to the legendary Kobe Bryant. This is I've been saying it every episode this year. 2024, we at your door. This is the year to stay on the attack. It's the Black Mamba year. 8 or 24. You got 24 hours to get it done. Make it work. This is my last Super Bowl and wear question, and I'll let Sal take over from there. I don't know what your goal was in the beginning, but you're now 14 years in. Where do you see Tunnel Vision and the Chase Your Dream initiative 14 years from now?
Well, I definitely see us, well, I know we'll be in a place where we competing with Nike. I know,
Hear that.
right?
Hear that.
I can already vision it, me stepping out of my car and walking into a high-rise building that got the Tunnel Vision logo out front. I see his name on the door for his office. I gotta walk over there, talk to him.
I love it.
I see Kyle Williams, CEO, on my door, and we walking into meetings and we talking about our next contract with the NBA or the NFL. Right, just big things. That's what I dream about and what I think about every day when I wake up. So that's why I see us. I know we'll be there.
Right.
One of my big ambitions is I'm a sneakerhead, man. So I can't wait until we drop that first Tunnel Vision sneaker. Right, slide them things on, be flexing on them, with everybody. You know what I mean? Get the box ready. Like that's what I see. And then through the Chase Your Dreams initiative, to be able to use my status when we're there and we're doing that to be able to impact the community. You know what I mean? I always made a dedication to myself that. Give back, man. Help other people. I can't stand when, we reaching out to black people that are where we want to be or people we look up to and so forth.
Right.
And it's so difficult to deal with them. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta beg to get them to come back and do something for the community. You
Get them up
You
here.
gotta pay them this, you gotta pay them that. And I never want to grow into that person, man. I want to stay grounded. I want to be approachable. And when people need me, I want people to be able to call me and say, look, if I can do something, I will. You ain't got to go through my manager and all of that other shit. I want to talk to you directly. That's the person that I want to be and what we want to do from the Chase Your Dreams initiative through our community. Like we want to be a gateway for hope for people.
And I know you're going to get to that point just based off your determination. There's nothing that's going to stop you from getting to that point. So I'll be at the ribbon cutting.
You be there.
I'll be there. I'm going to have sneakers on.
Yeah, you got
I'll be
to.
there.
You gotta
I'll be there for sure.
For sure.
Being a CEO of any company could be a big lift to carry, right?
Yeah.
Especially for a clothing line, like you said, it's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of different people you got to communicate with. But then adding on a nonprofit where you have to have your heart to the community, you have to have your eyes on the community. How do you balance it all? Some people can't even balance a checkbook. How do you balance a fucking business and a nonprofit?
Man, balance is probably one of the things I'm still trying to master till this day. I know that, starting out, I tell people all the time, I used to be a mess, like as a business owner, because I used to let everybody and all these external factors control my day. I would wake up, the first person to call, I'm answering. Whoever texted me at the time and needs something, I'm answering. And I had to figure out how to delegate, manage my schedule. I operate off a schedule now, right? our calendar is laid out for 6 months ahead. We know what we need to do. So nobody can get me off track. Can't nobody just call me and speak to me whenever they want now.
Right.
You got to wait until my time is ready for you. And you got to be able to respect it. And I had to grow into that mindset to be able to take control of my life. But it's hard to kind of balance and turn things off when you're so ambitious and you got that much drive for what we want to do, right?
And you're a person of the people, too.
Yeah.
You don't want to let people down.
Right. So I'm trying to figure out how to say no to some things. It's kind of hard. But when you just got that burning desire inside of you, and the universe is manifesting everything that you're constantly thinking of, going to sleep with and waking up, it's hard to turn it off sometimes, man. So I'm still trying to learn how to balance, but I'm way better than what I used to be. I'm a way better leader than what I used to be. I know how to, communicate and just get our team on board and do different things, man. So if nobody else is, I'm proud of my growth because the person I am today, I wasn't 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
One of the best things, and if Sal got any more questions, I'll let him go for it, but I think one of the best things that I've already gotten from your message is how willing you are to share the hard times,
Yeah.
the college loans, being told no, just the different things and the obstacles that you had to get to stay focused. So for you to get to this point, you should be proud of yourself because, like I said several times, self-work is the hardest work to do.
Absolutely.
It's a lot easier to talk to other people about what to do. And when you got to look in that mirror and realize, and you can say, I'm a mess. Like,
Yeah.
as we can say that, you know the work to be done, and you wouldn't be at where you at right now if you wasn't doing the work.
Yeah.
So salute to you.
Appreciate that.
We spoke about, how Tunnel Vision has been a self-sustaining business with their clients, but can we share a little bit of info about how Tunnel Vision has managed to grow being partners with different companies and how important has partnerships contributed to the mission of Tunnel Vision and Chase Your Dreams initiative?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, our partnership with the County Executive Steward Pittman is the most critical in our community, what we do on Chase Your Dreams initiative. When you're talking about a Caucasian male and, into the black community, I mean, this guy puts his money where his mouth is. He stands on his truth and on his word when he tells us something. And I know that I appreciate him so much because anytime we've gone to him, he listens. I can call him up and say, yo, I got a good idea.
Right.
Which is why we're getting ready to do the event that we're doing.
He believe in you.
He believe in us, man. And it takes people like that to be able to do things. So I appreciate him. We definitely, our relationship with DTLR has helped out big time in the community on the Chase Your Dreams initiative side. Our relationships from when we had the last celebrity game with Rohan and Genesis Marketing Group, that led us to our NFL dealings that we've been doing as of late with the Journey series.
Absolutely.
Right? Our relationships just with certain community leaders that have led to our relationships. One of the brothers were in the audience, Mike D'Angelo, who I met just through a mutual friend. And just been making some serious connections from. It's just people like that who you don't know, but come into your life for a reason, and to be able to do more for you than people that's your own family or people that your friends that grew up with you. They don't even support you, and we're not going to focus on who's not supporting us, but the people that we don't know who have stepped in and been a huge part of our success, man. And then just it's been a great ride, definitely with the partners that we had.
I will put Mike in the category of few or many. We just had the few or many awards, but I put all of us in that category, and it's not many of us. It's a true statement, few of us, because when you meet somebody, I mean, we real good on energy, right? You meet somebody and they can just sense your energy and sense your passion and your purpose, and then they want to almost bend over backwards to help you get there without any consciousness of how it's going to even benefit them. And not that we should exploit them relationships or take advantage of them, but embrace them. Like, these people are God sent in my eyes, and once you do work or you are gifted these opportunities, always remember who gave them to you and try to return that favor. I mean, in my career and we're working with Tunnel Vision, the partnerships have been so important, and trusted partnerships, and just setting a high example of what to do and what not to do. It only comes from learning.
I forgot something too. I mean, the partnership we had with JetBlue for a while, that was great. The homie Gary Vaynerchuk, we were dealing with his brother. His brother's name. His brother though.
I know you're talking about. I'm trying.
AJ Vaynerchuk.
Yes,
so we were dealing with him for a while from Vayner Sports. We had a great relationship with them that turned into some professional leads and different things. We had Derek Anderson, who came to the last celebrity event, man, that was connecting us with the NBA Players Association, man. We got M&T Bank, who we've been dealing with and trying to do some different things. United Way, the help that they've given us. So many different partners, man, that I probably forgetting so many, but it's been
That's
a great
good.
day.
That's a good problem, man.
And Maryland Live Casino,
Yeah, and
they've been coming up big this week.
And I would say to the people watching, if you're listening to the partners, they're all on different levels. You got corporate, nonprofit, smaller. I mean, can you kind of tell us what's the importance of not being so picky about the level of partnership and just being more focused on the partnership in general?
I think the importance of it is just like, first of all, we people, I know you, myself, buddy, we just people like, we deal with people. I don't care who you are.
Right.
If I can vibe with you and you're respectable,
I'll give you a shot.
and you give me good energy and so forth, I don't care if you're here or there. And I'm gonna respect you the same way, because I hate dealing with people who are here but want to treat you like you're here. You know what I'm saying? We television. Don't be talking to me like we're not that, we that. I'm him, you him, I'm him.
Right.
Right? So I'm not gonna tolerate
We that.
I'm gonna always treat other people like that, right? And I think the importance is because we've had people at this level that have put us in relationships with people at this level, and vice versa. And we had people at this level who put us in great contact with people at this level, but have been a huge support system for our businesses and what we do, right?
Yes.
And I even talk about, Lil Flip and one of my favorite collaborators, Indio Champ. That's my guy.
Shout out
Indio
Indio.
Champ is my guy.
Real people, man.
With the energy pulling up and
Facts.
just connecting us with so many different things, man. It's just, it's been just a ride, man. Even up to confusion. He's the helm of what we do with all these different talented individuals, man. So that's my.
And before we move into did you have any more questions before we move into the next segment?
Yeah, before we moved in, I did want to briefly touch on what we spoke about earlier with the partnership with Maryland Live, and go ahead and publicly just briefly tell them about the partnership and what's upcoming in a couple weeks.
Yeah, so absolutely. So shout out to Maryland Live, Rob over there, Renee, Candace, and those guys, and Ryan, the general manager for the casino. They stepped in and picked up the title sponsorship, the $25,000 sponsorship. Big love to them. We got
Tell them about the event. We
yep.
can tell them the title.
Yeah, so we got the Celebrity Charity Gun Violence Prevention Weekend
Coming up, baby.
March 9th and the 10th.
Talk to
We
them.
got that coming, baby, hosted by Gillian Wallow, right? So with that, what we're doing is we wanted to do something for the community, and this was inspired by my man, Mike D'Angelo. He's the one that inspired me to do something like this. So shout out to
Mike.
him. He's been doing this walk from DC to Philly for a couple of years, man. We're trying to do something for the community, man, where we can really stop this gun violence and violence as a whole, to teach the young generation coming up. They different, man. They different than what we was growing up. The morals is out the door. We're really trying to figure out how to inspire them. And what we wanted to do, man, is we wanted to get back. Remember when we was growing up, we had TV shows like Teen Summit, man.
Right.
And Teen Summit, you would watch that. You would talk about real life topics.
Real life stuff.
It was engaging. It was entertaining. They had music performances, man. So we're recreating that, and we're doing a Teen Summit panel for gun violence on Saturday, March the 9th. That'll be narrated and led by Gillian Wallow. We're going to have the celebrities there, the students from AACPS, from Baltimore, and other schools are going to be there. And we're going to have some tough discussions, right? Well, because we want to learn from them. What are you dealing with? What's making you go out and be the way that you are? What's happening in your community? What would you guys like to see from organizations like us to help you live a better life? Let's have these tough conversations and let people like Wallow, who just came from doing a 20-year bid and turned his life around and a multi-millionaire doing his podcast,
Nice.
or like a Gilly who lost his son, rest in peace to Cheese, right? Who experienced that and what that meant to his life, to try to stop these young females and these young males out here from doing the same and ruining their life, right? So we're going to listen, take that information, and then we're going to raise money from the celebrity basketball game that we're having on Sunday, March the 10th at Meade High School, right? So we got Terrell Owens, we got Mimi from Wild 'N Out, we got Indio Champ, we got a bunch of people. We got Jimmy Allen, the country singer, Grammy nominated. We got so many different individuals that are coming out that's going to make it dope.
Right.
But the funds that we raise from that event, we're going to donate back to programs that are help combating gun violence, man. So this weekend is about being serious, right? Getting the information that we need, and maybe we can do this and help spider out different ways throughout our community, but also neighboring states, to figure out what's working and how we engage this young group, man, because
It's everywhere.
they so brain dead and brainwashed by the ops and
Social
the
media,
drill music and stuff like that.
sir.
It's a time and place for everything, man. But we try and teach them, it's like, yo, make your shit in order early, so that way in the next 20 years you can out here and get this money the legal and right way, and you ain't gotta take nobody's life for you to make your point. You get what I'm saying? So that's what we got coming up. We got so many other sponsors and different things that better than that.
Man, awesome. And I just want to piggyback on what both of you have been saying for the last few minutes. Relationships are so important when you're chasing your dream. But at the same time, believe in yourself, but don't be too stubborn to not use your assets and your resources. It's people that tell you on your climb and your journey, yo, if you ever need anything, reach out to me. Yo, I believe in you. If you need something, talk to me, email me, reach out to me. And 9 times out of 10, when we finally get on that hard moment and we like, damn, yo, how am I gonna get this done? You don't reach out to that person.
Right.
You don't talk to those connections. So shout out to all of the sponsors you just named, past and present, because more are gonna come. And I just feel like you never know who's going to be the person to help you. So the best thing you can do is chase your dream and know your shit. Stay really relentless and vigilant about what you're doing, because when the time comes, people are gonna see that work, and those are gonna be the people that take you to the next level. But you gotta have your shit together. And as you see this man right here, this is still a work in progress, but it's a reason that he's gotten to this point. So stay determined and keep chasing your dreams, and that was amazing, brother. I think the people really will have a strong knowledge of your foundation and who you are just based off that section of our show alone. But now it's time to pick up the pace a little bit, and now we're going to throw some rapid fire questions at you.
Water for this.
Yeah, you don't have to overthink it. We want your heart-to-heart, quick answer off the break. And I'm going to let your brother to your right go ahead and set this thing on. Set it off in this month.
Kicking off our segment of rapid fire, my first question is, if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
Superpower, what would it be and why? I would like to have the superpower of being able to understand what people think.
Okay.
Like Professor Charles Xavier,
Yeah.
right? Because then I can use that in the mind game to my advantage to understand which people's angles, what their intentions are, different things like that, and I can use that to my advantage.
And that'll definitely help you on your pitches too.
Right.
I know exactly what you think.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
tough.
For sure. Walking Professor X over here.
Professor X.
So my first question is going to be, I think you already answered this earlier, but I'll ask it anyway. What would Kyle Williams be doing if it wasn't tunnel vision of the Chase Your Dreams initiative? What would you be doing?
You ain't had that dream that night.
Yeah, if you ain't had that dream that night, I don't know if it would still be agency or something on that level, but what would you be doing?
I would probably be having my own sports agency representing athletes in that space.
So
Gotcha.
still some
Yeah, it's still
connection to sports.
So still in that world,
I never
your
had
passion.
to working in sports. A lot of people don't know, but I got like a weird thing for nature as well. I always wanted to be a scientist.
Okay. See, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I ain't doing
I ain't know
nothing.
that. This is my brother right
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
And I ain't know that.
I love animals and science and shit like that. So in my other life, I'm a scientist.
Well, you know what? I'm not surprised that you just called yourself Professor X.
Right.
So it sounds about right. It's a line.
Right, absolutely.
Sell you up.
Alright.
Quench your thirst.
Every
for pride.
time I call Kyle, we having business meetings. Typically, if I call him, he's working out, right? So, what's your go-to workout song?
My go-to workout song,
What's that motivator that can get you in that?
I always
if you
put
don't
on-
feel like working out, and it could get you there.
I always put on that Nipsey, that victory lap.
Okay.
What we just took up here? What we just took up here
That
tonight?
always get me. I'm prolific, so gifted. So,
Right.
I mean, it always put me in that
Listen,
mood to like,
Just talk.
all right, let me snap out of it. Nipsey is like the ultimate motivator for me when it comes to music. Like I throw that on, and that's a classic. That's
Yes.
5 mics right
Not
there.
only just Nipsey music, sorry to cut you
No, I'm
off,
good.
but every time I follow so many Nipsey pages, and I love when I'm going through my timeline and a Nipsey video pop up, and you just hear some of them prolific quotes that he got, bro. He just was ahead of his time, and it sucks to see when people are ahead of their time and make such an impact, and it had to be taken away early from us. But to our pleasure, he left us with hella gems. So
And a
shout out-
classic,
yes.
classic album. You could ask my co-host. I was a West Coast nigga the whole ride out there to the studio. I was rapping each word with passion because that's how I am when I connect with something. Like I'm not gonna be too cool to show how much I love something. And that album, that individual, way before Victory Lap, I'm going all the way back to Crenshaw. Brothers Have No Names.
Everything.
I'm a huge Nipsey Hussle fan. So man, just shout out to his whole estate, his whole family, his children, because that is something that motivates me.
Sleeper Nipsey Hussle mixtape that you gotta check out is that Nipsey and Bino Ride Out. Bino
That's-
sings.
You know, oh yeah,
Oh,
no pressure.
Yes.
Fire.
Whole
My
mixtape.
favorite joint on there is the track with Dave East.
Blueprint.
Yeah.
Bro, listen, if you know, you know. If you know, you know.
Proud of you.
Yeah.
Burgundy your car, burgundy
Yeah.
your... Listen, we listen, we could be here all night talking about that. But since so asked a music question, I'm going to keep it on track. You can pick 2 artists to collab on an album. Rappers or R&B? Who is it? Your dream collab album.
My dream collab album. I might have to go with Jigga, number 1. I'm gonna go with Jigga, right? And with Jigga, I'm gonna say Nas. I've been wanting them to do a collab album.
That'd be cool.
I was waiting for
Man,
them to get
Jay-Z and
together.
Nas just need to hurry up and do the verse.
Yeah, they
Yeah, I don't think Versus ever coming back. I think it's dead. But it was great while it lasted, and that's another thing that I think was great during COVID. People found a way to still entertain and be engaged. And I think, shout out to Swiss Beats and Timberland, I hope y'all do find a way to bring it back. Feel like the world is back moving, so it's kind of hard to get people back in. Everybody was in the house. Everybody was watching. So just shout out to y'all for that creation. That was dope. Your question?
I can't remember.
All right, I'll go with the next one. Oh, no, it's actually your question.
I go, all right.
Yeah.
Would you rather fight 1 horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
Huh?
Fuck.
100 duck-sized horses.
Or
I would-
horse-sized duck?
I don't even know why, but I feel like I should just pause.
Oh,
I don't even know if it was just an ask more to fight a big horse-sized duck or duck-sized horse. Nigga, what?
I feel like my chance would be better off with the one big mouth. You have 100, I'm just
Shit out
cracking it. Yeah.
Oh my God, that might be the wildest rapid fire question in history. I don't know what was in my man coffee cup tonight, but I'm loving that shit. God damn. All right, I think it's a good one right here. All right, so I know how it is when I start the questions off like this.
Yeah, something crazy.
NFL has allowed a 1-year freelance license to deal for all teams. They got a 1-year freelance. You don't have to go with what everybody else is going with. You get a phone call from the Kansas City Chiefs to do a special Super Bowl jersey. Fine, great opportunity.
Yeah.
Deal's almost done. Last minute, the Oakland Raiders want you to become their official apparel man, but the deal is exclusive. You can't work with nobody else. What do you do?
I'm going Oakland Raiders all day.
Less?
They can forget it.
Oh, man.
I'm going with
Okay.
the Oakland Raiders all day.
I figured you would go with the home team.
I'm black and silver to the.
I mean, you're a businessman, so I had to see where your loyalty landed.
I think my loyalty would kind of, but you know what? No, I'm lying. If it's a better deal for my team, I'm gonna go with that.
Gotcha.
If you just talking about me, if it was just benefiting me,
Right.
I would say Raiders.
That's-
I'm always
yeah,
put my
okay.
team first, so I would say I'm gonna go with.
If the Chiefs deal's a better deal, you're going with it.
But that it's all.
Your heart is
But I hate them all.
your heart is black as girl. Black as girl. I got you.
You gonna he gonna get me started on that Christian Hughes shit.
Uh,
They don't want me to get started.
Well, I
on
can
that.
say that for open minutes.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, we gonna have time. Sell you up.
If you could switch lives with any CEO for one day, who would it be?
Switch lives with a CEO. That's a good question.
Wouldn't be
Would it be
Plank.
Phil Knight?
Plank, would it?
Would it
Just
be
to-
Plank?
just so you can see the inside, what they doing, and then
I
come
would-
back to TV.
just 'cause they say the
flying
inside.
away the whole time.
I would say maybe Plank, but you know what? Somebody who always like kind of intrigued me was Mark Cuban.
Oh, Cuban.
I love
I love the way you run his franchise.
Yeah, like I pick up a lot of gems from Mark Cuban, and you know I just like the way he go about things, man. So I would say probably Mark Cuban. I would say, you know, if I could, I would say Phil Knight, just to see how like Nike and
Right.
all of that. You know, I look at Nike.
I think you could get that from the book, though.
Yeah.
That book is. Yep. You
Yeah,
talk about
right
from
there.
like, check us out. Look,
I still
shoe
got
dog.
that. You know what I mean?
Everything is on point
There you
tonight.
go. Get the that's on the cow. So you can get that.
Universe is aligning. But no, I like that. I like that answer because I feel like, you know, you could have picked anybody to get insight from, but I feel like that's a good choice. I like that answer. My next question is going to be planning the event or watching it unfold. What's
Your
the
favorite
more
part?
passion
Favorite
of
part?
it? Yeah, what's the part that you enjoy the
Planning.
most? Planning it?
I just feel like even because when we have events, I don't even really get a chance to enjoy it.
Right.
But I get a fulfillment knowing that this shit was dope and we planned it and,
Right.
and it went the way. And I don't want to jinx ourselves, but I don't even think we really ever had a bad event.
That's right.
Like for real. Like, you know what I mean?
And I know it probably feel good to be in the back hearing everybody enjoy what you've been putting fucking months
You know what I
in. Like you just hear the crowd going crazy and you like, man, I'm in the back making sure we getting ready to clean up.
And then
At the end, like you always working.
And then the crazy thing, like once we done, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to.
No, you good.
Once we done, people will try to like get me to recap, and and focus on it. But after I'm done, I'm already focused on what's next. What we doing next? I'm on to the next.
You already told people you got your 6-month calendar.
I'm still talking about that. I'm on. What we doing next?
Facts.
Like, you know what I mean?
So you up.
The one thing that we didn't talk about today involving tunnel vision to chase your dreams, I don't believe, is the Tunnel Vision League, or you briefly spoke about it.
He brought about it how everything started from that in the kids in the
So
community.
for people that don't know, Kyle has created the Tunnel Vision League, and shout out to Fat Man Brooks, the commissioner, my guy,
Real one.
holding it down, real. And just speaking on partnerships, when you're doing something like that in the neighborhood that you didn't grow up in, it's important to reach out to the people who really grassroots. And William Fat Man Brooks has been the testament to that, making sure that our communication with the brothers in the hood is good, keeping that crowd control is just always on point. But going into my question, if the Tunnel Vision League could play an all-star game against any other league in the world, who would it be?
I want to go to the Rucker.
Okay.
I want
over the Kingdom, because you got so many.
What's the joint? The main one that they've been having as a league
in New York.
Yeah, it's not Rucker.
You talking about the Chris Brinkley workout joints?
It was a different one, man. I don't know why.
Street games.
Shout out to New York basketball leagues.
But
we've always been that top pinnacle to shoot for.
It's one, I forgot what it's called.
It's not the Rucker's in Dykeman, right?
Dykeman League.
Dykeman League. All right, bam.
Because they not. If we talk about basketball, I would say the Drew League, but the Dykeman is like that outdoor vibe, that New York street ball. It's like taking me back to the N1 days. Like that's what inspired me to kind of like build the type of atmosphere that we got in the Eagles with the
Okay. So I don't know if you know, I was throwing you an alley-oop or us an alley-oop because this is a call to the world right now.
Dykeman, let's get up.
We already been playing against other leagues. Shout out to the league over on the Eastern Shore that we played last year, right? And other leagues before that. But every year towards the end of the season, Kyle is searching out a dope league to either travel to Severn, Maryland and play one awesome game or round robin style tournament of different leagues, or we'll come to you. But that's the best part about basketball and showcasing what we have and how impactful this league is.
We need to call Pee Wee Kirkland.
Okay.
When I went up there, we with him. I still got his number. I need to reach out to Pee Wee and see what he said.
And I'm coming with him because guess what? I want to talk shit against all you New York street niggas that be on the microphones at them games. I know I go toe for toe with y'all niggas. Put me in that environment. We coming. So yeah, respect to all. No, but real talk, respect to all the basketball leagues, all the creators that's creating stuff in their cities and their towns. For people to be creative. I look at all of us as the same, regardless if you up north, out west, down south, regardless. If you're a hustler and you're creating for the community, then you're in the same realm with me.
That was my last one.
That was your last one? All right, then you know what? I'm not going to ask my last one because my last one was named something that the people may not know about you, but he already said it. Nature Boy Ric Flair, a.k.a. Professor X. So for sure, we're going to our next segment. It's called Spin the Block. And this is an opportunity for, if it's something that you already talked about or a moment that you feel like you might have mentioned it briefly, but you can elaborate on something a little more, or it could be something not even about tonight at all, that you just rather spin the block. It could be something in the news or anything you want to speak on that we haven't had a chance to.
Yeah, a couple of things I run by. So number one, if y'all want to get the tickets to the Gun Violence Prevention Weekend, you can go to our Eventbrite. Of course, that's a long link, but you can go to www.chaseyourdreamsinc.org. And if you go on there, gun violence page on there, it'll give you the link to the Eventbrite. Go on there, purchase your tickets. We got all different levels. You can sit VIP, courtside, do your thing and everything. So get your tickets on that. But the thing that pissed me off this past week that we experienced, man, is as you know, Kyle Juszczyk, the fullback for the 49ers, right? His wife most recently got an NFL licensing deal. And of course she got that. I'm not going to say she got it only because of that, but she's his wife, so it took her little to nothing to get plugged in to get that. But she completely jacked our whole idea with our Journey Jacket series. So as y'all may or may not know, y'all seen as the NFL has been posting our Journeys jackets, what we've been doing for different select NFL players, and it's a series that we created with Genesis Media Group. Shout out to Rohan and the team. But it's these crazy jackets that we've been creating that pretty much showcases an athlete's or entertaining career from when they started out, whether it be through high school all the way to the pros, or somebody's whole music career or acting career, man. And the jackets are dope. Shout out to
Please give them some names that you got too.
Yeah, we've been doing it for
Ocho Cinco.
We did it for DeMarcus Lawrence. A bunch of players on it with Cam Sutton for the Detroit Lions. I'm drawing a blank, but we did it for so
I
many.
really, honestly, I didn't want you to even have to say all the names. I just wanted the people to hear when they hear your story and what you're about to tell them that it's no way she didn't see or her husband didn't see one of these people in these jackets. So I just wanted to say that 'cause it ain't like it's just unknown people in the league. People got these jackets, so
the NFL style page, the NFL pages were sharing our shit months ago, right?
Right.
And then the other day she come out with it. She saying she got a jacket that's showing all his teams from high school, college, and the pros. And in the caption she puts, "Where your journey from high school to the pros."
Yeah, so made me aware of it. It's crazy.
Now that's not no coincidence. And I know she's sitting. And one of the guys, I forgot his name. He's a receiver for the Green Bay Packers. He wore that when they played the San Francisco 49ers in one of the previous playoff rounds. And they posted it and made a big deal about it. So I know for a fact she's seen it. And, you know, definitely we went on the post where she was posting about it. She went on the Today Show and what's the one with Whoopi Goldberg and all of them? She was showing it all. She wanted all this credit for it. And I'm like, yo, you jacked that whole idea from us, right? And like he said, when you're doing stuff like that, it makes me mad because knowing you're disrespecting our team and all the hard work that we did. But at the same time, it's like if you want design, you don't never take nothing from nobody. We come with our own way of originating. That's whack to see something and try to take. And all the time, man, when we step out as African Americans, and I don't want to make it a race thing because it's not about that, right? But when you go onto somebody's page like that, who's a white woman, she's married to an NFL star and so forth. If you're gonna be a designer, be a designer. Like, do your thing. Don't come and steal ideas from us or the culture and try to pass them on as your own. And I have a problem with that simply because it's just like, you know, when you say something, of course, you got people supporting, like, damn, they did jack that from y'all, but you got your other people there just saying crazy things or resulting to saying the N-word and all this type of, it just
get ugly, you get nasty,
make you mad. And so we definitely gonna go that cease and desist route or whatever we need to do because we not letting nobody step on us, take our ideas and so forth. I'm him, he, him, we, him. Like, you're not going to disrespect us and act like you didn't just jack that from us. So whatever we can do from that standpoint, we're going to stand on our business and do what we do because we don't do that to nobody else. So don't do that to us. We creators and we special. Like, treat us like it.
And
he's him, they're them, and I'm I. And I stand with my brothers.
It reminds me of the story of Milli Vanilli. That movie is out now. If you got a chance to check out that documentary, I think anybody that has had something stolen from them or you have a cherished idea that you want to keep sacred, watch that movie to really learn how things could be stolen from you. Milli Vanilli, as you know, they already had got caught lip syncing, but outside of that, they stole the song from a local group from Annapolis, and it was actually a mixture of artists and musicians and producers from Annapolis all the way to Baltimore. One of those people being Bill Petaway from Annapolis,
Legend.
And one of those people being Kevin Lyles from Baltimore.
Legend.
And Milli Vanilli and a management group thought that they could steal this single because it was from a smaller group from Baltimore, and they knew Baltimore for being poor. So they like, we're gonna steal this group song and they'll never know. And Bill Petaway in the movie is washing the car at the gas station. The car pull up, playing the song that he wrote. He ran straight to Kevin Lyle's house, told him what happened, and they went through a year and a half of learning. Kevin Lyle's going to the library and reading books about the music industry, and that's what created Kevin Lyle's, and they ended up suing Milli Vanilli, and that's why you see Kevin Lyles, who is the part CEO of 300 Entertainment, Bill Petaway, who runs around with Timberland and other music producers. Fortunately, they had a paper trail and shit to, you know, follow up, but it's just a testament to what you said. It's like, you see somebody take your shit and you passionate about it and you see it and that shit make your heart drop, go fully passionate about, you know, cease and desist or court just as hard as you would for that project, and you're gonna reap the rewards, and the person gonna be fucked up at the end. So
yeah, and I'll say something else as well in regards to that is that, you know, we've experienced different things where we welcome people into our company under our umbrella, bro, and really like we're there for the wrong reasons. You know, try to understand they came in just to learn about our business, figure out what connections that we have and so forth, to only go out and then try to start their own thing to compete with us. And I think that my message to everybody out there is like, again, it goes back to being original, being authentic. Like, when we doing what we do, like I told you, this was sent from God.
Facts.
You have to operate in your purpose if you want to be successful. You can't force something that's going to take off like that. You got to be authentic in what you do. You have to have a burning desire, passion for that, right? And I think we live in an area where, era where as black people, we do ourselves in because if this guy over here, he starts this business,
Right.
as a black person, you should feel inspired, right? But instead of us going over here to make this go like this,
Represented.
we feel like, damn, I grew up with him. Why is he doing this and I'm not? I can do this too, so I'm gonna shut up. And everybody's setting up the same thing around each other, and then now it's causing this menial competition in your backyard when I don't give a fuck about our backyard. We looking at the world.
Push it forward.
Y'all focusing on this. We focusing on the world, right?
Right.
And my thing is, I say to that is, and I said it earlier, yo, just because you got a product, it don't mean that you're a CEO. It don't mean that you're a business owner.
Facts.
It don't mean that you know how to be professional and go about your business. So my thing is, what I'm saying out there is, let that be organic, right? Have a desire, have a passion for what you do, and not to just create things because you feel like it's cool or it's the grind, it's the wave right now. Like, let's start to getting together and supporting each other, and let's build together, because our other counterparts and other ethnicities, they don't do that.
No.
Right? They all band together, and you know what I'm saying? But we the only ones, like I said, if he build this, we're gonna put 4 more in his block and try to complete with him because we don't want to see him
Right.
get the shine and praise.
Oh, he doing shirts.
You know what I'm
Let me
saying?
make shirts. Oh, like,
I hate that.
No creativity.
It's just, I hate
And
it.
I actually spoke about this situation on, I want to say 3 or 4 episodes ago about people who like to fuck up the process. Because I don't think that,
Skipping the process.
yeah, I don't think everybody that did backstab us or came in and might have rubbed us the wrong way, I don't think they came in with the intentions to steal or take the concept.
Probably did.
I think that, again,
Yeah, so
and this also goes back to being a black CEO, it's like, the process may seem too long for them, or it might not be at the speed that they want. They like, well, I got this order coming in. How fast can we get it? Like, hold, pump your brakes. Like, it's a process. And then because they don't like the process, they steal the information that they learn and then try to create a new process or take that process there.
And then they realize it ain't what they thought.
Yeah, because it's a lot of back end shit that you may not know about it. And I understand why CEOs and people of leadership don't expose their hand all the way up front, because you have to be guarded with trusting information. If y'all would have known how crazy people was going at the Coca-Cola recipe, they had to lock that motherfucker in the vault.
Right.
For real, and it's still locked in the vault. Like,
Yeah.
take little ideas serious and protect them.
yeah, most people only want success. They don't want the struggle.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to cut half the work by being a person that's going to look at who they can take advantage of. And that's what most of these corporations do. The young lady or whoever her name is from the 49ers, she got capital and access. So in her mind, it's an easy grab. Milli Vanilli people, another country, small town, they think it's an easy grab. They take for granted how much people care about their shit. Serious about their shit. So, as we say in Love to Not Love, all you biters, stop.
Yeah.
Just stop, man. Dig deep into your bag and bring something to the table. That's how they stay out the way.
And I feel like we kind of went through Hidden Gems
Listen.
without even introducing it, because
I feel like that was a hidden gem and an inspirational moment message, but I feel like you could still probably give the people more.
I got one more.
Go for it. Or we still gonna go to the next segment. Go for it.
All right, so one more is that, you know, one thing that we are working on, I'm not going to say too much about, but I want the people to know is like, yo, we really doing something major, impactful that we've been working on with the county and the state, where we plan to start manufacturing in Anne Arundel County, in Maryland, right? So it's on the table. It got pushed back.
Major news.
Got pushed back a little bit. We speaking it into existence. It's going to happen. We got the support, but we're going to be able to create 100 or more jobs within 5 years. And we're going to teach the youth in our communities about manufacturing, how to cut and sew, design, all of that, bro. And we're going to take them right from high school and lead them into building the empire in tunnel vision and working. So we're going to be like a cat north for what we do. So that's breaking news.
Amazing.
We're working on that. That's coming. I manifested it. We manifested it. It's coming. Y'all can expect it. And it's going to be something where we going to be what it is to our area, what Under Armour is to
Right.
Baltimore.
Gotcha.
That's what
I feel like
shooting for.
you creating an entrepreneurial army, because it's getting out of high school. You know how you ain't have a vision for college, like I'm going to join the military, I'm going to get money. You can come join Tunnel Vision the same way. If you
Yeah.
didn't have a plan or a passion or profession that you thought you could see, you can come through our course, learn how to manufacture, learn it. You may even just come through to learn how to manage a project. I think it's so many levels of things that you're going to learn just going through the Tunnel Vision course and Chase Your Dreams workshop that you're gonna walk away an entrepreneur or insightful partner and leader.
And I love the fact that everything within your story tonight has aligned, and honestly, it just grows. To me, what you just described from bringing the manufacturing and bringing jobs, that's no different than what you did with the court. And how you said it brought so many different black businesses into the forward, to the forefront. So I only know as the goals and the dreams get bigger, so will the results and the people that get to eat from the plate that you're creating. So this is a moment where we like to, I feel like we've already done it so many times, but we are going to give you the opportunity to give an inspirational moment message to anybody that you feel like can follow in your footsteps. This could be something specific towards business. It could be towards family. This could be towards just individual growth. I'll let Sel give you his little pitch because he always like to say and look at it from this standpoint.
I always say, look at the inspirational message as you looking in the mirror and talking to your older self, or looking at that younger kid that was you when you was younger, and you looking at this idol or person you just heard such an incredible story of, and then now you giving him that message that he was waiting for.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna talk to my younger self and say, you're gonna go through some shit, but you gotta go through some shit to get to some shit, and you gotta stay the course. Just stay focused. Believe in yourself. These obstacles are not here to kill you, right? They're not here to deter you away from what you're doing. But these are lessons that you need to learn because I'm preparing you for what's to come. I'm giving you these problems now, so you know how to deal with the bigger ones later, right? So don't get discouraged, stay the course, lean on me, lean on God to be able to trailblaze your path. And surround yourself with good people, man. Stick to your team, take care of them, make sure that they're good, and be transparent and be honest with people, man. Let them know what you need to do, what you're trying to do, and just always do the right things, man. And that's what I could say to my younger self is there was so many times, man, where I went to sleep nervous. I went to sleep like in pure anxiety, and I had to get away from that point in my life, man. I had to learn that nothing is here to destroy you. Change your mindset, right? Live within you, because you have to live within you and believe in yourself. Your outer world is going to conform to your inner world. Whatever you believe, and you go to sleep thinking, and you wake up thinking, and you think during lunch, and you think during this meeting, it's your outer world that the universe is with you, is going to conform to your thoughts. So keep positive thoughts, keep a positive mindset, and just keep moving in that way, and the universe is going to give you what you're asking for.
Man, amazingly sad, brother. You dropped so many different gems. I really feel like this is episode 15, but obviously that means we shot 14 other ones. But I think this is going to jump off the camera.
And don't listen or pay attention to what people think about you, because that can kill your dream too, right? There was so many times where people had negative things to say. I used to care. I know. It used to kill me. But I don't care anymore. And the moment that I stopped caring, bro, like, it just puts you on a whole different level, because whether you're doing good or you're doing bad, people are going to have something to say, that's regardless.
You know what it is?
People, you know what I mean?
I don't think, because I think you passionate just like I'm passionate, I don't think we ever stop caring. We just stop answering the phone for the first person to call. It's literally the same analogy as you said, how you had to figure out your balance.
Right.
We always gonna care. It's so many days that I'm damn near a paragraph in on Twitter and Instagram, and I'm like, why the fuck am I responding to this person? Like, I stop myself mid-track, like, what am I gonna gain from pressing send? Just stop, just chill. Because when you do that, you save yourself so much more time, the unnecessary back and forths with people who don't matter. And at the end of the day, that's really what it comes down to. So I hope y'all take a lot from what this man is giving to y'all tonight, because you can be him. You can be a creator. You can be a dreamer. You can be a chaser. You can go get it all. But it starts with you. And if any of the things that he spoke about tonight, from naysayers to failure to people telling you no, if any of that's going to stop you, don't start. Because that's going to happen in business. If you want to be a boss, that happen not trying to be a boss. That can happen in a regular 9 to 5. So build that belief up in yourself. And I'm sending to my co-host, see if you got anything else to say before we wrap this thing up.
You got to win in your mind first before you can win in life.
Buddy started this new motto 2 episodes ago, worldwide winning. And
Yes.
You on a mission to complete your most passionate dream or thought. When you get there and you expand that market or that product to the world, you worldwide win. So, and tunnel vision is on the way to that.
Man, before we get out of here, anything else you want to say about anything before we shout out our studio? It's been an amazing job. You know, we dropped the website, you told them about tunnel vision. Anything else you want to let them know where to follow you, where to get merch, where to work with you?
Just follow us on Instagram, all platforms. It's at The Tunnel Vision. It's THE in front of Tunnel Vision. So you can follow us there. And again, go get your tickets to the Gun Violence Prevention Weekend. It's going to be dope. March 9th and the 10th. The game is on the 10th.
Let's go.
And just stay in tune with us, man. We're going to keep pushing and keep shocking the world.
So as you already know how we do, shout out to our studio, Atelier Baltimore. We live in effect. Shout out to all of our subscribers, all of our likes, all of the shares. Keep on, please. We need you. Run the numbers up on all of the platforms that we on. Do it for thelove.com, or you can go to the YouTube page. Continue to please share us. We're trying to continue to give you gems, great guests, great episodes, great topics, but it does not happen without you, the people. So, once again, we want to shout out to our sponsor highlight for this episode. We also want to send a special shout out to our Shining Spotlight, who for this episode was, Live Casino was our sponsor highlight, and then obviously $1 million worth of game, Gilly Wallow, who will be here live. What's the dates, fellas?
March 9th and the 10th.
$1 million worth of game live in the city, live in Anne Arundel County. Listen, episode 15 for the love of chasing the dreams. Mr. Tunnel Vision, Mr. Williams, Mr. Birdie, whatever you want to call him, the boss. As you said, what you call yourself, a billionaire? A billionaire? I love that.
Billionaire
I love that.
flesh, baby.
Man, you know what it is. Do it for the love. Eric Buddy Davis, Salt Spitfire,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Tunnel Vision himself.
We out.
Chase your dreams.